Congratulations. This is an exciting day for you, your family, and loved ones, and for us too. My two favorite times of the year are welcoming our new students in August and congratulating our graduates in May. Well, this has been a year unlike any other, right? Who would have imagined last March when we left for spring break that our lives would change so dramatically? Over the year, we've lost people close to us, cared for those who were ill or been sick ourselves. Finances have been strained, jobs lost, families kept apart. Often, I know classes and schoolwork were not your main priority and had to take a back seat to the other demands in your life. But still, you persevered. You found ways to do what needed to be done, sometimes with great sacrifice. And today, you should celebrate your success. You've accomplished a great deal in unprecedented circumstances. You worked hard to get to this day, but now it's time to put your skills and knowledge to work. You're scientists and researchers, communicators, psychologists, and policymakers. You will help shape the future of the world. You will help address the inequities and injustices of the world. You will help advance our understanding of the physical and natural world. Well, that's a lot riding on your shoulders, right? No pressure there. But I'm reminded of a podcast that I listened to this year about a struggling high school football team. Now, I don't remember the podcast or where the team was located or even why they were struggling. But what I do remember is the phrase the coach would use as the team huddled before a game or after a practice. As the team numbers came in together, he would say, "Everybody touch somebody." Now, in a year in which physical touch became a source of anxiety and huddling together closely was not safe or feasible, I want you to remember that those touches don't have to be physical. Never underestimate the role that you can play in the world by your daily interactions with others, the daily touches with other people. You don't have to win a Nobel Prize or cure cancer to make a difference. You make a difference every day in the decisions that you make, the way you treat people, and the choices that you have. You've shown that you're resilient. You've shown that you care about others. You've shown that you value knowledge. And I have great confidence and faith that the things you learned here at Illinois Tech, the things you learned in and out of the classroom, will be put to great use. So I have one more podcast story. One of my favorites is Freakonomics. At the end of every episode, the host, Stephen Dubner, says, "Take care of yourself, and if you can, someone else too." I think it's a great message for life. If we've learned anything this year, it's the importance of caring for ourselves, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Only then can we reach out and touch someone else. I finished both my undergraduate and graduate degrees off cycle and didn't participate in the ceremonies for either. I've never really regretted those decisions, and since then I've sat through many graduation ceremonies at different institutions. And I will say there are some boring parts. One of the advantages of this virtual ceremony is you can just fast forward talks like this and get to the part where someone says your name. But through the ceremony, through the time of the ceremony, you can start to feel the tension build as we get to that final announcement that you are now graduates of the university. It's a great moment, and I'm sorry that you'll be missing some of that excitement. I hope you can, though, responsibly celebrate your achievement, throw your cap into the air, and know that we are all celebrating with you. So again, congratulations and best wishes.
Hello, graduates, friends, and family. I'm Nikki Legate, the director of our undergraduate programs in the Department of Psychology at Illinois Tech. Even though we're not celebrating in person together today, we're celebrating from afar the incredible accomplishments of the students who have completed their Bachelor's of Science degrees from our department. These include recipients of degrees in psychological science, applied analytics, behavioral health and wellness, and the unique dual degree program in psychology and biology. I feel so honored to get to speak about them and the hard work that it took for the students to get here. And so as part of this, I'd like to share with friends and family of our graduates a few words about our bachelor degree programs and some of the features that I think make our programs really special. One of the unique features of our programs at Illinois Tech is the heavy emphasis on statistics, research methods, and critical thinking of research studies. We emphasize a healthy degree of skepticism and critical reading of all sources of information. So, friends and family members, if you share a news story about a new psychology study that you find interesting, and our graduates ask you a bunch of follow-up questions like, what was the sample size? Has it been replicated? I understand if these questions are a little bit annoying, but you can blame me and the other faculty at Illinois Tech for that. Our grads are trained to be skeptical consumers of information. So you're welcome. A second relatively unique feature of our degree program involves the senior capstone. So this is an individualized course that each student completes in collaboration with a faculty member. For these capstones, students select a topic that they're passionate about and develop a customized semester-long course, usually around a research project that they lead or an internship. These projects are wonderful and diverse, and students get so into them because it's something that they create and they're really passionate about. And in closing, I just want to say that it's been a total honor getting to know the class of 2021. You are an incredibly resilient cohort to deal with the challenges of the last year and a half. It's been tough. And you all give me a lot of hope in your ability to meet the challenges that our world and our planet is facing with courage and with grace. And I want you to know that your community at Illinois Tech is here for you, even after today, as you are now an alumni. Congratulations and good luck to you. I now have the pleasure of introducing the winner of this year's Outstanding Undergraduate Student Award, and it couldn't go to someone more deserving, Meta Viswant.
Good afternoon. It is my great privilege to be filling in to accept the 2021 Undergraduate Commencement Student Award on behalf of psychology major Meta Viswanath. I've known Meta for over 4 years, and I can still remember the first time that we met when she visited my office to discuss the possibility of transferring from computer science to psychology. And I can tell you that I'm so pleased that she did. Meta ended up minoring in computer science and has really been an integral part of the Department of Psychology for the last 4 years. She is a consummate professional, a compassionate and caring person, and an extremely hard worker. She also brings joy to the work that she does and is a pleasure to work with. Furthermore, Meta has persevered through a number of challenges during her undergraduate career, making her an inspiration to many of us in the department. Meta has worked in a number of different research labs, both in and out of our department during the past 4 years. She spent time working in a research lab at Stanford University. And most recently, she's been working in the lab of Professor John Larson. Further, she's volunteered to be a teaching assistant, something that's very unusual, and has been helping Professor Rachel Ellison this past semester with the teaching of our Intro to Psychopathology course. After graduation, Meta plans to pursue graduate training in cognitive neuroscience, and I'm pleased to report that she's been accepted to several prestigious master's programs. I look forward to tracking her and your future successes in the years to come. Please join me in congratulating her, and thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nikki Ditchman, and I'm an associate professor in the Division of Counseling and Rehabilitation Science. It's an honor to be here today. Even if from a distance, I am grateful for the opportunity to celebrate this important day with you and your friends and your families. You have worked hard to get to where you are, and this is a major accomplishment. I know this year was not what you expected, but you have been resilient, strong, and determined. Grad school is tough, not to mention in a pandemic. You have worked hard, found ways to be innovative, supported one another, and reached this important milestone. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize all the people who have supported and championed you on this journey. Thank you for all the care, understanding, and support you have given to them along the way. I'd like to speak briefly about the Psychology Department's two exceptional professional master's degree programs, the Rehabilitation and Mental Health Counseling Program and the Industrial Organizational Psychology Program. The Rehabilitation and Mental Health Counseling Program prepares leaders in the fields of professional counseling with specialized skills in serving diverse people with mental health concerns, disabilities, and chronic illnesses. Students take courses related to counseling theory and skills, evidence-based treatment, research methods, psychosocial, vocational, and cultural aspects of disability, and assessment. We are the only program in Illinois and one of the few in the country that is duly accredited for both clinical mental health counseling and clinical rehabilitation counseling. Our graduates go on to work in settings such as community mental health programs, schools, rehabilitation agencies, and hospitals. The Industrial Organizational Psychology Program prepares students to learn about the science of human behavior in the workplace and apply this knowledge to enhance organizational effectiveness and employee well-being. Students gain an understanding of organizational behavior, proficiency in applied research and analytics, and practical experience applying IO science in the workplace. Graduates of the program go on to work in consulting firms or corporate HR departments, where they may develop systems for talent management, promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, enhance employee engagement, and develop organizational leaders. Students in both of these programs work exceptionally hard, both in the classroom and during field-based experiences, and are well prepared to become the next great leaders in their fields. Graduates, today is a major accomplishment, and each of you should be so proud of what you have achieved. I hope that you know, especially during this unprecedented time, that your resilience, perseverance, and hard work has not gone unnoticed. To all of you graduating today, a truly heartfelt congratulations. On behalf of us all, we wish you all the best as you move on from Illinois Tech, and we look forward to seeing all the amazing things that you will do. I also have the honor of announcing the winner of this year's Outstanding Master's Program Student Award, Nalini Puri. Nalini is a student in the Industrial Organizational Psychology Program. She is active in faculty research labs and described as a leader in her courses and someone who goes out of her way to support her peers. She served as treasurer of the Graduate Association of IO Psychology Students and as a teaching assistant in the department. She is also the lead author on 3 upcoming poster presentations at national conferences. Congratulations, Nalini.
Hello, my name is Nalini Puri, and I feel privileged to have been a part of the Department of Psychology here at IIT. My time at IIT has been filled with growth, opportunities, and memories that I will cherish for a long time to come. The credit for this memorable experience goes to the faculty, especially Drs. Amin, Power, Landis, and Morris, who made themselves accessible and available to help me with my numerous questions, provided guidance and support, and pushed me out of my comfort zone to help me discover my potential. The credit also goes to my classmates who are passionate, curious, and motivated, and have inspired me to become a better version of myself. Discussing the hardest of assignments, working together on group projects, challenging each other's perspectives during group discussions, and attending the annual SciUp conference provided us with several opportunities to bond, for which I am extremely grateful. My time at IIT also helped me discover my passion for leadership and training and development through the labs that I was a part of. And I am fortunate to have got an opportunity to work on 3 posters with the rest of my team. I also want to give credit to my family and friends outside of IIT, without whom my experience would not be the same. The last year wasn't easy, but it gave us an opportunity to get to know each other better. To make sure none of us felt like we're talking to ourselves on Zoom when presenting, to having faculties and classmates' pets make attending class more fun, we also found a way to connect virtually. If there's anything I would want you to take away from this, it is to put yourself out of your comfort zone and surround yourself with people who help you grow. Finally, I also want to congratulate my fellow graduates of the class of 2021. Yay, we did it.
Hello, my name is Dr. Steve Dubois, and I'm an assistant professor of psychology at the Illinois Institute of Technology. It's my pleasure to say hello to you today and do a few things in this video. So very briefly, I'll just give a congratulatory message to the graduates. I'll also then tell you a little bit about our PhD programs at IIT, and then finally I'll have the great pleasure of briefly announcing our student award winner for the PhD programs this year. So I'd first just like to say briefly, it's obviously a unique year, and we've used words to describe it like unique and unprecedented and challenging and stressful, and of course it has been all of those things. I think at IIT it's also been a year where we've been able to kind of come together and show what we're capable of when we do come together and collaborate and think creatively and adapt to the problematic times. And so I want to say congratulations to the graduates, first of all, for reaching this significant milestone during COVID. I also want to say congratulations to everybody watching this video, because if you're watching, it means that we're all here together, still fighting the good fight together against COVID. Indeed, though, congrats to those graduates for making it through a really tough time and for hitting this milestone. The next thing I'd like to do is to tell you a little bit about our PhD program as a faculty in that program. Our students are generally wonderful, and that's because they have to be. In the PhD program, they do it all. So obviously they're in the classroom taking classes, learning how to become excellent researchers. They're also in the field actually out doing that research and doing things like writing a master's thesis, a dissertation, collecting their own data, analyzing the data, coming up with the ideas. It's just a huge multi-step process that they master. And of course, they're out in the field doing practical work, whether it be for industrial organizational psychology, which is one PhD that we offer, or in clinical psychology, which is another PhD that we offer. For clinical psychology, students can also select a rehab specialization for those who are interested in rehabilitation specifically. So these students are out in the field helping people in workplace settings or helping people in hospital or community health center settings. They're working with IIT in various capacities to help streamline and improve IIT structures and mechanisms. So they really do it all. And so congratulations to the PhD graduates, and it's my pleasure to tell you a little bit about our program. The last thing I get to do is to announce the student winner for this year's PhD program. So each year, a group of faculty get together and they discuss whoever has been nominated for this award, and it's supposed to be somebody who really exemplifies all the different facets of the PhD program that I just told you about and excellence in those facets. This year, it's my great pleasure to announce the winner is Talissa Dorsaint, and I know that basically anyone who's met Talissa knows that she's an absolute superstar who's bright in intellect and personality, and she's warm and she's wonderful and she's collaborative and she builds community and she does it all. She does the research, she helps people, and she's really helped build community both at IIT and outside IIT when it comes to diversity. So her diversity initiatives are something that we're grateful for at IIT. It's something that will continue to live on even when she graduates. So Talissa, from me and from everyone, congratulations on this well-deserved award. We are happy that you represent us as a professional now and also just as a person. Congrats to you and congrats to all graduates. Thank you.
Welcome, students, faculty, staff, parents, and loved ones. It's with great humility and honor that I accept the doctoral level Commencement Student Award and give a short commencement speech on behalf of the PhD program and the graduating class of bachelor's and master level psychology enthusiasts at Illinois Tech. After years of grueling hard work and dedication, we finally did it. Congratulations to every single one of you. So with the few minutes I have with you all, I want to share with you a short and simple line that single-handedly carried me through 9 years of my PhD program. It always gets done. It's a phrase I picked up sometime in graduate school, and its origins are unknown. But somewhere between my first and second year of the clinical psychology PhD program here at IIT, it became and it stuck. And I was known for it within my cohort. So my guesses maybe started there. Whether it was on the CTA bus or L to campus stressing about a day full of classes and practicum, a study session at the MTCC turned study night at a cohort mate's apartment, it always gets done was probably coming out of my mouth at some point in our interactions. It became my way of letting friends know that we're all in this together, pursuing our dreams with textbooks in one hand and coffee or tea in another. Occasionally I'd get an eye roll, maybe a thank you. But as the years went by, I started to hear from classmates how they'd recite it to themselves during a tough day, or would share words of wisdom with a coworker. It seemed to become a warm reminder of what it looks like to persevere and provided a sense of community we were all incredibly thankful for. Or maybe it started in my late first advisor's lab. Dr. Schlesser never lacked a story to tell about a student or his time at our alma mater, Rutgers University. What I remember most were his one-liners that he would say to his stressed-out students. His most famous line we'd hear was, "It's a master's, not a master's piece." I didn't always agree with it as a first-year student, as I was intimidated by any paper over 10 pages long at the time. But that simple change in perspective allowed us to take risks with our work and taught us to learn efficiently, work efficiently, and realistically with the energy that we had as students. Or maybe it was the unrelenting support of my current advisor, Dr. Haidmont, who took a chance on a curious student from her eating behaviors elective after my first advisor passed away. Dr. Haidmont has seen me through a majority of my time at IIT, remaining incredibly supportive as I learned to thread my previous experience into what is now a passionate interest in eating behavior concerns in Black women. She also supported me in my leadership endeavors, being the first faculty advisor of the Diversity Committee, nominating me for various fellowships, and now escorting me into the field as a psychologist. The support and encouragement of Dr. Haidmont and the rest of the faculty at IIT provide what a phrase, "it always gets done," looks like. So thank you so much for your support. Or maybe I picked up the phrase to assure my family that they made the right decision, allowing me to pack up all my belongings at the young age of 22 and move halfway across the country to a foreign city to pursue an unfamiliar degree. I know that their story of coming to this country from Haiti mirrors my experience in many ways, and wanting better not just for themselves, but for their loved ones. In many ways, my pursuit of this degree is for my family, as well as the betterment of others that I can affect, anyone I can affect, whether it's on my computer screen virtually or sitting on a couch in my therapy office. We all know what it feels like to be unsure if we're making the right decision. Luckily, if you're passionate, the difficult moments are easier to bear, and it's a lot easier to get things done. I'm so thankful for my amazing parents, Maurice and Vernette, sister Tara Lynn, and an entire extended family for their support over the years. I hope you're all smiling watching this, knowing it got done. Honestly, I'll never remember where it came from, but I do know how far that phrase got me. Class to class, milestone to milestone, practicum to internship, psychology student to doctoral candidate to graduate, a doctor. So, what's next for us all? For some, it might be a gap year. For others, it's diving headfirst into the job sector. The transition can be incredibly intimidating and scary, especially without the safety net we've had at IIT for so many years. But before we head out that door, let's pause for just a second. Let's look back at what pushed you on those late study nights, what led you to ask for more time and office hours from your TA or professor, those moments where you looked up from the depths of your textbook just a few seconds at Galvin Library and saw that you weren't alone. Whether you walked around saying it to your friends like myself, or it never crossed your mind at all, you did get it done. And if you got it done before, then you're already equipped with the tools that you need to do it again. So as we say goodbye to our time at Illinois Tech, I want to remind you of not only the memories, but what you can accomplish when you bet on and believe in yourself. If it means something to you, if you're passionate about it, if your flame never burned out after all this time, then it will always get done. Congratulations, Psychology Class of 2021. It got done, and it always will.
Nora has impressed me throughout her graduate career with her initiative, commitment to, and passion about both the practice and science of pediatric neuropsychology. Regarding the science aspect, Nora showed her dedication and commitment by constantly seeking out research opportunities in pediatric neuropsych, since that's not my area of expertise. Not only did she seek out these opportunities, she successfully conducted several studies at her externship sites that led to numerous poster presentations at national and international conferences. Regarding the practice of pediatric neuropsych, Nora has developed into a highly skilled clinician. She doesn't conduct cookie-cutter assessments, but designs assessment batteries tailored to specific referral questions. And she also develops recommendations to target each child's unique needs. Her approach to assessment also shows she's sensitive to issues of culture and diversity, and her supervisors have noted that she adapts assessment batteries to accommodate the particular cultural backgrounds of her patients. Her commitment to diversity is also evidenced by the fact that she planned and ran a summer program for high school students living in under-resourced communities designed to increase their interest in psychology. I'm also so proud of Nora because I have seen how she uses her astute clinical observations to develop substantive, meaningful research questions, which exemplifies the ideal qualities of a scientist practitioner. Her dissertation question was based on her clinical observation testing adolescents that as academic demands increase in early adolescence, there is a corresponding decrease in their academic achievement. She thought this decrease might be related to problems in executive functioning. Thus, she designed her dissertation study, The Relation Between Executive Functions and Academic Performance in Clinically Referred Adolescents, to examine if, indeed, this was the case. Although the findings from her study didn't confirm all of her hypotheses, they did show that working memory was significantly associated with math performance. Nora is currently completing her pediatric neuropsychology internship at Henry Ford Health Sciences Center. Not surprisingly, her mid-year evaluation was outstanding. I'm also happy to report that after internship, she'll continue her journey to becoming a board-certified pediatric neuropsychologist as a pediatric neuropsychology fellow at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg. I'm confident that Nora's outstanding skills in pediatric neuropsychology will lead to a highly productive career. Congratulations, Nora.
Hi, my name is Eunjung Lee, an associate professor in the Department of Psychology. It is my great honor to introduce Melissa Ivan Luxe. I had so many things to say about Melissa because she has achieved many milestones during her doctoral program. She got married and welcomed 2 daughters, Abby and Zoe. Now, this is her moment to get the highest degree in the academic field. I'm so excited for her and her family. Melissa came to the Illinois Institute of Technology in 2014. She earned a bachelor's degree in ecology and evolutionary biology from Princeton University and got the master's degree in environmental management from Yale University. When I met her for the interview, I didn't understand why she wanted to change her career track and pursue the degree in psychology, because her previous field didn't seem to have any connection with psychology. However, I quickly learned that she has very special heart for individuals who need care and psychological services and support. She always cares for others first. She goes extra miles to help other students in my research lab. With her contribution and the leadership, I think my lab has been growing so much. Melissa has accumulated a strong research record in rehabilitation psychology and health psychology. Since she joined in my lab, she has 3 publications, 1 with the first authorship, and total of 26 presentations at regional and national conferences. Currently, Melissa is completing her pre-doctoral internship at Amida Health and will continue her pre-doctoral fellowship journey at the same site. She's planning to defend her dissertation in late May. Her dissertation is to understand caregivers' autonomy support for individuals with chronic pain, applying self-determination theory. Melissa, you're about to close this chapter and about to become Dr. Ivan Luxe. I'd like to tell you this. Do not underestimate you. Recognize your strengths more. You are an excellent student, an amazing mother, and a wonderful wife. I know for sure you will be a great psychologist. Thank you so much for having this journey with me. Now, I would like to welcome you as my colleague, Dr. Melissa Ivan Luxe. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is Steve Dubois, and I'm proud to be the graduate advisor of Ren Yoder, who this year is graduating with her PhD in clinical psychology. So congratulations, Ren. Those of you who know Ren know that she really is a special person. She has such a beautiful energy and spirit, and she combines that with total execution on everything professional. So it's a really rare combination, and I'm really proud to be her advisor. Just to tell you a little bit about Ren and some of the highlights of her time here at IIT. So first of all, she overcame a lot of adversity regarding her master's thesis project. She actually was switched advisors by no fault of her own, and she landed with me, and I'm the lucky one. But we had to really kind of revisit her master's project at that point, and she was doing her best efforts to recruit, but recruitment was happening just too slowly to be feasible to happen, efficiently for her thesis. So she switched gears, and then within a year, she went from one master's project in the middle of recruitment to within a year, I believe she had defended her new master's thesis. So she obviously was super capable and executed on that master's thesis. And she got her master's thesis published in what was a very successful and efficient submission process in which I believe she received very few to no edits on her original submission for publication of her master's thesis. So she went on then quickly, she had to be efficient because of the initial lag with the master's. She went on quickly to defend her comps and in fact earn distinction, which as we know is rare. And Ren really earned it with her thoughtful presentation. And then for her dissertation, Ren is doing something she always does. She's focusing on populations who are underrepresented, marginalized, and she's trying to help them. And her specific population here is with trans individuals, and what she's focusing on is reducing experiences of stigma and discrimination among those individuals in healthcare settings. And she has gone through great efforts to create an intervention to help raise awareness around issues related to trans individuals in healthcare settings, and she's testing that out right now. Broadly, Ren cares. She cares about people, and that comes through in her work. And I think in her most recent internship evaluation by a supervisor, she was described as a fierce patient advocate. And I guess I want to say that of all the people I've worked with, Ren is certainly the most fierce. And so what a beautiful word to describe Ren, a fierce patient advocate. It really captures that she cares about people. She's in this field for the right reasons. She's a great researcher. She's a great clinician. And she's also a social justice advocate. She led our team of, our lab had a fundraising team for a walk at IIT to raise awareness around suicide and suicide prevention efforts. Ren led our team. We had like 15 or 20 people on our team in the end, and we raised several $1,000s, which was the second highest fundraising team of all teams at IIT. So that was really Ren's effort. Ren cares, and it shows in all of the things that she does. So Ren, I want to say congratulations. You have earned this. You're such a wonderful person, such a wonderful clinical psychologist, researcher, clinician, advocate, but you're really just a great person, Ren. And it's been a pleasure to work with you. And I'm so happy for you and proud of you. And I'm excited to see what great work you do out in the world. And I know you're going to continue to help those you always have. So congrats again to Ren, and congrats to all of the graduates.
Hello, I'm Mike Young, Professor Emeritus in the clinical program, and I'm happy to talk about my student, Winter Johnston. Winter has been a pleasure to work with. She's enthusiastic about learning and adopting new skills and perspectives. She's an upbeat, outgoing person who can stay positive even in stressful times. She has a good sense of humor, and it doesn't hurt that we have a shared interest in good beer. It was interesting to see in her internship autobiographical essay how her playing the mellophone, the marching band version of the French horn, since high school has contributed to her attitudes, values, and approaches to life, and how that translates into her personal psychology pursuits in terms of teamwork, versatility, and discipline. Winter's a strong scientist practitioner, and as such has an interest in contributing to scientific knowledge, and through that to client and societal well-being. Her master's thesis concerned the effectiveness of coping strategies used by people with seasonal affective disorder. This was a theoretically driven, sophisticated experience sampling study in which these issues were addressed across time in participants' natural environments. Winter generated her own dissertation topic from her interest in the use of modern technologies in therapy, and importantly, in people's attitudes and willingness to use them. This topic has become especially important more recently, but the study was actually designed before the pandemic. This project demonstrates Winter's inquisitive mind and her interest in research that can impact clients. Winter also has been a leader in the clinical program. She has served as president of both the Clinical Psychology Graduate Student Organization and the program's social committee. She's currently completing an internship at the Syracuse, New York Veterans Administration Medical Center, and next year will be doing her postdoc at the Houston VA Medical Center. Congratulations, Winter. Hello, this is Mike Young, Professor Emeritus in the clinical program, and I'm very happy to be talking about my student, Jordan Fuller. In graduate school, Jordan developed a fascination with and a strong commitment to neuropsychology and engaging in both evidence-based clinical practice and conducting the research that supports it. In his time at IIT, he's trained at several different major medical centers. Neuropsychology is a challenging field because it deals not just with brain function and with thinking and behavior, but with the relationship between the two. Jordan has demonstrated an outstanding grasp of brain behavior relationships and the strengths and limitations of neuropsychological assessments, and how to draw clinically relevant conclusions from various sources of information. His research is focused on how to improve neuropsychology methods, and as a consequence, how to improve patient outcomes. Personally, Jordan has been very enjoyable to work with. Our research interactions are like intellectual interchanges between peers, with both of us interested in expanding our knowledge and our perspectives. We also share an interest in food, and I was impressed with Jordan's internship autobiographical essay that described how being raised by chefs and working in the kitchen cultivated attitudes, skills, and work habits that translated into his work as a psychologist. Jordan also has been a leader in the clinical program. He was a co-founder and executive board member of the Clinical Psychology Graduate Student Organization and served as the student representative at the clinical psychology faculty meetings. Jordan's currently completing his internship at the Veterans Administration Medical Center in Detroit, and next year he'll be doing his postdoctoral fellowship at the Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan. Congratulations, Jordan.
As chair of the Department of Psychology, it is my job to bring commencement to a close. But before I do, I will announce the winner of this year's teaching awards. The Faculty Teacher of the Year is Dr. Stephen Dubois, who is an assistant professor of psychology, and the Doctoral Student Instructor of the Year is Catherine Neveglowski, a student in the Rehabilitation Counselor Education program here at Illinois Tech. I'd like to thank you both for all of your hard work and efforts to offer quality education to our Illinois Tech students. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the faculty of the Department of Psychology and by virtue of the authority vested in me by Illinois Institute of Technology, I confer degrees upon you who have fulfilled all the requirements in your respective fields of study. And I admit you all the rights, privileges, and obligations connected with your degree.